Why does the brain sometimes misfire? Tonight we will explore the hidden world of brain glitches. These are brief moments when the mind slips out of its normal rhythm and shows us something that feels unreal. Number 1. Let's begin with one of the most mysterious glitches of all. Deja vu. That eerie sense that you are replaying a moment in real time. Researchers believe deja vu happens when two different memory pathways activate at the same time. One pathway is responsible for recognizing something familiar. The other pathway is responsible for creating new memories. When these become unsynchronized by just a fraction of a second, the brain mistakes new information as something it has already lived. It creates the illusion of a memory that does not actually exist. In other words, your brain hits the replay button on something that is happening for the first time. But deja vu has some stranger theories attached to it as well. Some scientists have proposed it may occur when the brain quickly corrects a tiny processing delay between what the eyes see and what the mind registers. Others believe it may be the byproduct of a dream you do not remember, leaving you with a subtle feeling of familiarity. No matter the cause, deja vu has long fascinated neuroscientists because it is one of the few glitches that feels like a window into a different timeline. Number 2. Another common glitch is called hypnic jerks. This is the sudden feeling of falling when you are drifting off to sleep. One moment you are sinking into the bed, and the next, your entire body jolts awake. It feels involuntary, almost like your brain has hit a panic switch. Researchers believe this happens because the body is transitioning from wakefulness to sleep faster than the brain expects. As your muscles relax, the brain mistakes that relaxation for a loss of balance and sends an emergency signal to the body. This creates a quick muscle spasm meant to keep you from hitting the ground. It is a leftover survival mechanism from a time when humans slept in trees or elevated places where falling could have been deadly. There is a similar glitch that happens while you are wide awake. It is the sensation that you are suddenly floating or sinking, even though you are perfectly still. This phenomenon is connected to the vestibular system inside the inner ear. This tiny structure controls balance and spatial orientation. When the signals from the inner ear temporarily misalign with signals from the eyes, the brain creates a brief illusion of movement that is not really happening. It is a reminder that our sense of reality is constantly stitched together by the brain and can unravel for just a second without warning. Number 3. Another glitch that often surprises people is called the phantom phone vibration. You may feel your phone buzz even when it has not. This happens because the brain is extremely good at pattern detection. If you receive frequent notifications, the brain becomes so tuned to the sensation that it sometimes predicts it before it happens. This prediction can be so convincing that you physically feel it. It is a modern example of how easy it is for the brain to create a sensation based on expectation, not reality. Number 4. One of the strangest glitches occurs during moments of intense stress or fear. Some people report that the world suddenly slows down around them. Time seems to stretch. Every detail becomes sharp and clear. Scientists believe this is caused by a burst of adrenaline that heightens the brain's memory system. While it may feel like time is slowing, what is really happening is that your brain is recording more information than usual. This creates the illusion that the moment lasted longer than it actually did. Number 5. There is also the phenomenon of the name on the tip of your tongue. You know exactly what you want to say, but the word refuses to come out. This is called retrieval failure. The brain stores information in networks, and sometimes those networks do not activate fully. The word is still in your memory, but the connection to it is temporarily blocked. The brain knows the answer is there, so it creates a feeling of closeness, which is where the frustrating sensation comes from. Number 6. Another glitch is called pareidolia. This is when the brain sees familiar shapes, especially faces, in random patterns. For example, seeing a face in a cloud or a figure in the corner of your room in low light. The brain is wired to detect faces for survival, so it will prioritize face recognition even when none exist. This glitch can be the source of ghost sightings, strange photos, and those eerie moments when you feel like something is looking back at you from the darkness. Number 7. There is one brain glitch that stands above the rest in both terror and mystery. It is an experience so vivid and so overwhelming that entire cultures have written myths, legends, and dark folklore about it. It is called sleep paralysis. If you have ever gone through it, you already know how frightening it feels. You wake up, or at least you think you do, and you immediately sense that something is wrong. You can see the room. You can hear the quiet around you. You can feel the air on your skin. But when you try to move, nothing happens. You are trapped inside your own body. Your chest feels heavy, your breathing feels shallow, and your mind begins to race. Then comes the part that makes sleep paralysis so unforgettable. The hallucinations. Some people see dark figures standing at the foot of the bed. Others feel a presence sitting on their chest. Some hear footsteps whispering or strange mechanical humming. Some people even see shadowy forms crawling along the ceiling or hovering by the door. These visions feel real because, in a sense, the brain is still dreaming while you are awake. For thousands of years, humans have tried to explain this terrifying experience. Ancient Japanese folklore described a spirit called the kanashibari, a ghost that immobilizes people in their sleep. In parts of Scandinavia, the phenomenon was believed to be caused by a nightmare spirit riding on a sleeper's chest. In Newfoundland, it was called the Old Hag, an entity said to sit on victims and drain their energy. And in many cultures around the world, sleep paralysis has been linked to demons, witches, or supernatural visitors. These stories spread because the experience is so intense that it feels impossible to explain any other way. But science paints a very different picture. Sleep paralysis happens during the transition between waking and dreaming. When we enter the REM stage of sleep, the body naturally shuts down voluntary muscle movement. This prevents us from acting out our dreams and hurting ourselves. Most of the time, the brain wakes the body and mind at the same moment. But sometimes the brain wakes up too early and the body does not follow. You become aware before the muscle control returns, leaving you conscious but frozen. The hallucinations happen for the same reason. During REM sleep, the brain creates vivid dream imagery. When you wake up in the middle of this cycle, your brain continues generating dreamlike visuals even though your eyes are open. Your brain is trying to merge two realities at once, and the result is the terrifying blend of waking and dreaming known as sleep paralysis. Most episodes last less than a minute, although they can feel much longer. They are not dangerous, but they can be deeply unsettling. Sleep paralysis shows us something rare. It reveals what happens when the systems of the brain do not turn on in the correct order, when consciousness arrives before the body is ready. What feels like a paranormal encounter is actually the mind caught between worlds, struggling to reconnect the physical and the psychological. It is one of the clearest reminders that the brain is capable of creating entire experiences on its own. And when it slips, even for a moment, it can create a nightmare that feels real long after it ends. All of these glitches reveal something important. The brain is powerful, but it is not perfect. It processes billions of signals every second, and sometimes those signals overlap, collide, or arrive too late. When that happens, the mind fills in the gaps with guesses, predictions, and shortcuts. These guesses can feel supernatural, frightening, or strangely familiar. But in truth, they are glimpses into the hidden mechanics of consciousness. Moments when the brain pulls back the curtain and shows us how fragile perception really is. So the next time you feel a sudden jolt before falling asleep, or you catch a flicker of recognition in a moment you swear you have lived before, remember this. Your brain is not malfunctioning, it is doing its best to interpret the world, even when the signals do not line up. These glitches are not flaws. They are clues that the mind is far more complex than we ever imagined. And in those brief seconds when reality bends, twists, or repeats itself, we get a rare look at the mysterious machine inside our skull. A machine that sometimes reveals more than it intends. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe for more weird, wild stories. Until next time, stay safe, stay curious, and as always, stay weird.